What's going on, everybody? Once again, this is Sonic Mix, and today I am going to give my review for WWE Monday Night Raw for June 17th, 2013. And overall, kind of so in a way. I mean, there was a few points that were pretty good, and others were just kind of like, nah. But let's go ahead and get on with the review, shall we? So the night kicks off with Alberto Del Rio and the CM Punk promo. This was a pretty good promo. I actually enjoyed this segment pretty much, and I kind of liked the fact how Del Rio instantly was talking like a heel here. How he was saying that he believes that he's the best, and that how he deserves to be treated with respect, and you people didn't show me it. And I was kind of getting a little worried actually, because I thought he was going to talk like a face, and people wouldn't buy into it. But thanks to the Chicago crowd, with the exception of Del Rio getting booed out of the arena, I guess the WWE decided to, you know what, we're going to make you heel, and it was tremendous. And then Punk comes out with Heyman, and Punk does his thing, and Heyman interrupts him, and Punk's trying to say, Heyman, and Heyman's not listening, and finally Heyman listens, and then Punk mentions something about Ziggler, how he deserves the shot, and he deserves to be champion again, and all that. And then Vicky Guerrero comes out saying that the main event will be Del Rio versus CM Punk. This was an enjoyable promo. I enjoyed this segment very much. And I give it a 2.75 out of 5. I enjoyed it that much. Then up next was the Punk and Heyman backstage segment. This was basically saying that Punk was his friend, and that he didn't want to be with them. He didn't want to join him at ringside. And this would be the start of things to come, and I'm pretty sure you guys know what it is, but for those that didn't see Raw but want to get spoiled, you're watching it right here, and you're going to see at the end. I give the backstage segment a 2.5 out of 5. Up next was Wade Barrett versus a surprise return of Christian. Yes, Christian came back after nearly a year due to an arm injury that he suffered. For most comeback or return matches, this was basically one-sided by Christian, but they were given, I think it was like about 5 minutes, I think, and you know, I think they tried to pull off something, and they did, kinda. And Christian picks up the victory, which was no surprise because this was his return match, and it was alright, nothing really too special. I give it a 2.25 out of 5. Up next was Team Rhodes Scholars versus Sheamus in a 2-on-1 handicap match. I don't know. I wasn't really getting the feel of this match. I felt like this was more of a beatdown match by Cody and Rhodes. Then eventually Sheamus would have this magnificent comeback, which it was pretty much. In the end, I was kind of surprised that the Rhodes Scholars won. I was expecting Sheamus to win, but it was the Rhodes Scholars, so bit of a surprise there. But I give it a 1.75 out of 5. Up next was the Triple H backstage segment with Vicky Guerrero and Brad Maddox. This was enjoyable. Pretty much, Triple H was basically saying that you listen to me. I don't want you to listen to anybody else. You do a good job. You run this Raw the way it's supposed to be run, and you're the one that's supposed to be in charge and all that. I thought this was okay. Like I mentioned before, I thought it was okay. Nothing too special, but it's a backstage segment, but enjoyable, I would have to say. I give it a 2 out of 5. Up next, immediately after that, was the Daniel Bryan and Kane backstage segment. I enjoyed this one, actually, and what I liked the fact about this was that Daniel Bryan, I guess you could say, left a bit of a tease that he needs to go for the WWE Championship, And Kane said the same thing, which makes me believe that these two will be in the Money in the Bank on the Raw side. And I think this is going to be the start to where hopefully Bryan wins the briefcase, faces Cena at SummerSlam, and Bryan wins. And I'll actually mention this segment again as I'm going along with this review. But I give it a 2.25 out of 5. Up next was Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton in a stipulation chosen by the fans, either by a no disqualification, count out, or best 2 out of 3. Surprisingly, it was a no disqualification match. I was really thinking it was going to be a no 2 out of 3. This was a solid match. I had nothing wrong with this match except for the ending. Everything was going good, had a good pace to it. Bryan on fire as always, and Orton looked good. He definitely looked good, and he definitely kind of looked like an anti-hero, Randy Orton. He didn't look like that goody, good face wrestler. He really started to, you could kind of really start to see the anti-hero in him slowly turning into the heel. But towards the end, I guess Bryan was, acting weird, so they had the paramedics, and they had to stop the match. So basically, it was a technically no contest, but you have to give the winner to Randy Orton, which kind of didn't make no sense. Should have been a count out, not a count out. Should have been a no contest, but they give it to Orton for some reason. I didn't like the ending, but if this is gonna play through with the whole Daniel Bryan being looked at as the weak link, then I'm pretty sure Daniel Bryan will say something on SmackDown or next week on Raw about his match with Orton. I give it a 3 out of 5. I would have given it a little bit of a higher rating if this would have had an ending as a pinfall or submission ending. Up next was the AJ Lee promo. This was a pretty good Divas promo. I was actually enjoyed by this promo, and I think AJ did a tremendous job once again being played the role as the heel diva. As AJ was talking, Stephanie McMahon comes out, and she mentions something about how she makes a comment with one of AJ's comments of how like women are not strong like me, and that there's no woman that is strong, not in attendance, not in backstage, and all that. And then Stephanie McMahon, of course, comes out, makes that comment, and she mentions how she's a strong woman and where she is. And I kind of like the couple burns that AJ said when AJ said, maybe I shouldn't date people here. Maybe I should marry someone here, referring to Triple H, and how AJ says, like, I'm kind of like you, Stephanie, but much younger. And I just thought those were some good burns there. And then Kaitlyn comes out with a bunch of divas, and Kaitlyn says something, and then Stephanie McMahon just kind of says something to Kaitlyn that I'll let you in on a bye, but don't interrupt me again. And I don't know, I just kind of felt like as soon as Kaitlyn came out, I don't know, I just kind of felt like it went downhill a little bit. If it was going to be something different, my choice would have just been like have the divas come out, and then Stephanie McMahon comes out, and then she just basically says, these are the women that are strong, and they would like to face you for the title one day. If it would have been like that, I think it would have been much better, but oh well. I give it a 1.75 out of 5. There was a really enjoyable Diva promo, and I enjoyed it. At least I did. Up next was Kane versus Dean Ambrose for the United States Championship. This is a dud. 0 out of 5. The match only went about 2 minutes, goes in a no DQ, and all 3 of the Shield members is basically beat up on Kane, and that's basically it. So, dud, 0 out of 5, nothing special. Up next was the Shield backstage segment with Vicky Guerrero. This one was okay. I kind of like the fact how Vicky Guerrero was going to say to the Shield that you're fired, but then Vince McMahon comes in and says, hey, you guys are doing a good job. I like that ruthless aggression that you guys got. And I just liked it. I liked how Vince McMahon came in and just supported the Shield. I give it a 2 out of 5. Up next was Antonio Cesaro versus William Regal, which was a surprise. And it looks like Cesaro now has sided with Zeb Coulter. And I kind of like the fact how Michael Cole was saying, like, to Zeb Coulter, what a hypocrite. He's a sellout. Antonio Cesaro is from another country, and Zeb Coulter supports him and all that. I thought the commentary was pretty good at that part. But the match itself, nothing special. Pretty much one-sided. And Antonio Cesaro just pretty much decimated William Regal. I give it a 1.25 out of 5. And the match only went about like 3-4 minutes. Up next was the Cena promo. At first, this was basically just a promo of just the advertising for Money in the Bank and how Cena saying that he was ready and this and that. And nothing too special. It was just basically the promo or the build-up for Money in the Bank. And then Mark Henry comes out dressing all fancy. Now, earlier in the show, there was an announcement of Mark Henry was going to retire. Now, this actually caught me off guard, and I actually thought this was a serious thing. Now, I knew he was coming back, but not retiring. And because I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, what is this? Is this legit? Is this real? Because I'm thinking in my head, is this that Edge moment where like the 1 week on Raw, Edge was there and all that. Then next week we get the announcement that Edge was retiring. So of course I'm seeing the promo, and it was really good. It was very believable, and it legitimately looked like Mark Henry was gonna hang up his boots and say goodbye to the WWE Universe. So, and of course, I'm getting a little emotional by watching this. I'm like, oh my God, he's another of my childhood favorites from the Attitude Era, now gone. And then, of course, Cena is sticking around, and Mark Henry is about to give Cena a hug, and out of nowhere gives him the world's strongest slam. And I just loved this. I love the fact how they suckered you in, making you believe that he was going to retire when, we knew he was going to return, but not return to retire. And it caught me by surprise because I thought it was that Edge moment again, but it wasn't. It was something completely by surprise. And I think they did a pretty damn good job of how they played this out, because they got you believing. They made you believe that he was going to retire, that he was going to hang up his boots and say goodbye. But nope, he is sticking around. Love this promo. Love this promo. 3.5 out of 5. You could say that I'm overrating this, but it was that damn good. At least I thought. Then next we get the Mark Henry backstage segment. This one was pretty good. Okay, good. And I like the fact how Mark Henry says that he's won every top title except for the WWE title. Which, sadly enough, I don't think he's never going to win the WWE title. But if he does, at least if he's going to win it, it should be on his last match, whenever that will be. Which we all thought today was his last day, but it wasn't. I give it a 2 out of 5. Up next was Chris Jericho versus Heath Slater. Nothing special of a match. Only went about 2 minutes at least, and Chris Jericho picks up the victory and then pretty much gives the code breaker to Drew McIntyre. I think he did give one to Jinder Mahal, but you couldn't see it from the camera angle. I give it a 1.25 out of 5. Up next was the Curtis Axel backstage segment. same thing. I don't know. These backstage segments were nothing too fancy like. As the show progressed on, just basically Matt Striker interviewing Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman saying that you're looking at the new Intercontinental Champion, and that he succeeded perfection and all that, and just really nothing too special. Interview. They only went like 3 minutes, something like that. I give it a 2 out of 5. Up next was Sin Cara versus Curtis Axel for like the 4th time, I think. Same thing. It was like 3-4 minutes. They tried to pull off something special. But I did like the ending. And it looks like Curtis Axel's got a new finisher. Like it looks like a future shock, but not really. But it looks innovating. And I think... I don't know. I think the Perfect Plex should be his signature because there's a lot of DDT finishers, and I think the Perfect Plex fits him more. But I have nothing against the DDT finisher that he used, but I think the Perfect Plex would just suit him right, just to follow in his father's footsteps, signature move wise. I give it a 1.5 out of 5. Up next was the McMahon backstage segment. This one I enjoyed, actually. I liked how Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and Triple H was there. And Triple H said to Vicky Guerrero, next time you only listen to me. He leaves. Then Vince says to Vicky, you listen to me. He leaves. And then Stephanie McMahon says, you shouldn't listen to them both. You know who to listen to. So I kind of liked. I actually like it. I actually like this. How they think that they all have power, and it just kind of goes to show that if one has the same power as the other, it could be uncontrollable. So I kind of like how they're playing this storyline out. I give it a 2.5 out of 5. Up next was the CM Punk backstage segment once again with Paul Heyman, and this one was pretty short. Paul Heyman is just basically saying, like, you know, I know where you're coming from. These people may not listen, but I know what you want. I love you. Gives him a hug, and then says to CM Punk that you're the best in the world. 2 out of 5. And then the main event, CM Punk versus Alberto Del Rio. The match was okay. I just didn't like the finish, how it was a count-out victory. Surprisingly, Dolph Ziggler attacked Del Rio, and he did get a little bit of a reaction, but hopefully it will be a cheering reaction for the babyface Dolph Ziggler, which hopefully he will be babyface, like on SmackDown or something. I give the match a 2.75 out of 5, but Brock Lesnar comes out, circles the ring, gets in the ring with CM Punk with a microphone in hand. You think he's going to say something, but delivers the F5 to CM Punk. Wow. Memorable moment right there. And I'm calling this right now. I think it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk at SummerSlam. I think it's going to happen. And if it happens, I think those two guys have the possibility to steal the show. I think they definitely will have the possibility to steal the show. It's been a dream match for like the past couple years or more. They're both Paul Heyman guys. They both got the same help from Paul Heyman, and I think this match has money written all over it. And this match will definitely be a great match. And hopefully it happens at SummerSlam. But I think it is probably going to happen at SummerSlam. Probably not Money in the Bank. So I think they're going to hype this up till SummerSlam. Overall, I give this Raw 5.75, maybe a 6, just to be generous. Like I said, this was so-so. Like I said, some of the parts here were good. Other parts were like, I could care less. But so-so, 5.75, maybe a 6, just to be generous. Alright, this was my review for WWE Monday Night Raw. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please do leave your comments on the bottom of this video. I had a pen in hand. There you go. Bottom of this video. Also, do check out my review of WWE Payback. I'll leave it in the description somewhere around this video. Just go ahead and click on it whenever you get the chance to. And until then, this is Sonic Mix saying you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys later.